Okay, in this second panel, I will talk about some of the GONG experiences when it comes to actually increasing citizens' participation in Croatia. What I was discussing is that I wanted to show you some video clips, but obviously there is a problem with tone, so we won't be able to do that later on. But I hope that still my presentation will be interesting enough for you. This is just to give you some idea for those who don't know what is GONG and what we are doing. So some of the things I already mentioned in the first panel, but pretty much so we are a non-partisan association that is focused on monitoring of the election process. We try to educate citizens about their rights and duties. As I said, we are trying to encourage this mutual communication between the citizens and the government on all levels. We also promote transparent work of public institutions, their openness towards citizens. We manage various advocacy campaigns, and we actually help and encourage citizens to organize themselves. This is something how it was somehow with GONG, how we were developing. So the milestone was the year 2000 when we actually started with those other programs, not just election monitoring. And as you can see, in 2003, we were awarded by the parliament. I'm not sure whether we should brag too much with this award, since it was the only year that it was ever awarded, so it never became a traditional one. But still, somebody there recognized our work and nominated us, and at the end, the parliamentarians gave us this award. These are current programs that we are working on. So election system program, good governance program, active citizens program, and international cooperation program. When you look at the main goals of these programs as written here, you will notice that active citizens are present in all of it. So although we have a special program called active citizenship, but pretty much active citizenship is something that we promote and work on through all of our other programs as well. So citizens' education within this election system program is the first thing that I would like to share with you as our experience. And this is the education that we are trying to do regarding the elections. So we try to educate our citizens about various elections. So we have local elections, presidential, parliamentary elections, regional elections as well. Citizens often don't understand what are each of these elections for. They don't understand the competences of certain bodies that they choose their representatives in, and this is something that we try to do through this sort of education, just to give them some idea why certain elections are important, what will their vote on this election actually mean later on, and so on. And of course, we, as I said, observe also the election day, so we educate our citizens, those who wish to participate in monitoring of the elections. So they pass through comprehensive training on the elections, on monitoring of the elections, and they then on the election day go to polling stations, and they are there through the whole day monitoring and then reporting on some of the malpractices that might occur in some of these places. We are doing this, of course, in order to, in the long run, increase actually citizens' trust in the election process and political parties, politicians, and so on, in politics in general, because we have noticed that due to some problems that we had, there is a belief among citizens that, votes somehow are not representing what actually voters said on their ballots, that often some things happen after the polling stations are closed, and that there are some stealing of votes, so to call it. But only way to prevent it is actually to have observers present there, so that they would stop and prevent such things from happening, or if they happen, that they would report on it, so that in later elections this could be improved as well. What we are doing and how we are doing is that we provide different materials for citizens, some kind of brochures, easy to use guides, because information about elections is not very attractive one. So you have to make it more attractive for them. So through different handbooks, leaflets, posters, but also we do audio and video clips. Some of it I was going to show you, but now I can't, because then you would really see how we are trying to make this more interesting, more appealing to an average citizen, so that when he is listening to a message that is not really, to say, too sexy, because, I mean, who wants to listen about where do I have to go to get the certificate so that I can vote on the election day? But if you make it interesting in a spot, sometimes we had spots when there was a girl singing it through a song. One was a disco version and the other was more 70s or 60s pop. So then this becomes more appealing, and then people look at it, and then some of the message goes to them as well. The problem is that this kind of education was in the past years done pretty much only by GONG in Croatia. Now there have been some improvements on the part of the State Election Commission becoming a permanent body, and also Central Administration Office, which just recently became ministry. They now produce some information for the citizens, but still insufficient, I would say. But as you can see, we had 11 nationwide civic education campaigns, and they were all pretty much successful. I think that the citizens remember the most the one that was done in 2003, when we had several video clips in which Joško Lokas, who is then quite famous in Croatia, was kind of playing a role of those people, you know, that you have in those commercials when they tell you, if you buy this thing, you will get this thing for free as well, but it's not all, I'm going to give you also 10 different clips if you add. So this is how we done it, and this it's not all became really a catch line, and everyone was using it afterwards in everything. So as GONG would say, it's not all, so and like this. Another thing that we do, and is connected with elections, is the project I Vote for the First Time, and this is a project intended for high school graduates. So those kids, young people who will be actually for the first time voting. They are 17 or 18 years old, and what we do is we organize workshops in high schools for them, on which they actually learn about elections. They learn about how to exercise their both active and passive voting right when turning 18, which is the line in Croatia. So when you turn 18, then you can pretty much do anything in Croatia, drink, drive, and vote. And also, this is something that is lacking in curriculum. Somebody already mentioned there is a problem with civic education as well in Croatia. It is only done just in through one of the courses, and it takes, I think, half of a school year that they learn about politics in general. So they don't get to know some specifics about each of the elections competencies of certain bodies on local, national level, and so on. And additional part to this workshop is the part where they learn about how to advocate their own interests. So they learn about public advocacy.